Hello and welcome to the third class of environmental science. So, in the last few classes, we have discussed about the basics of environment and ecology. So, there we were left with the terrestrial ecosystem. So, today we will start with the details of terrestrial ecosystem. So, terrestrial ecosystem is classified on the basis of, we study terrestrial ecosystem on the basis of biomes. So, the water biomes. Biomes are large geographical area characterized by depending on latitude and geographical extent. So mainly we will study 5 type of biomes. There is a tundra, taiga, grassland, desert and rainforest. So first let us study tundra biome. So where are tundra biomes located? They are mainly located in the polar areas in North Pole and South Pole. So this is the tundra biome. So what are the kind of fauna? That is the animals found. One is the migratory and non-migratory animals. It is need to be clear that non-migratory animals are generally white in color because they live there. Then we find lion, seals, polar bear, largest land-based carnivore. Then penguins, orca, krills. Tarpisot flora. What are the flora found? Generally, it is a ice field area, so less amount of trees are found. So lowest forms like mosses, lichens are partly found on bare rocks, ferns and sledges, Arctic willow and Arctic birch. Soil is generally covered by ice, so soil is said to be under permafrost. So let us see the figures. One is the lion, seal, polar bear, penguins, krills, orca and Arctic willow. Next up we have the taiga biome. So what differentiates tundra and taiga biome? It is the emergence of tundra and taiga biome is differentiated by the emergence of tree line. Difference the tundra and taiga biome. Where it is found? Mainly it is the Siberian climate, mainly found in northern hemisphere in Siberia, Scandinavia, Canada, Alaska, and area wise it is the largest. So what type of climate is found? Mainly the climate found is Siberian climate. Here winters are too harsh, snowfall during winter and rainfall during summer, and there is extreme cold and dry air, and there is anticyclonic circulation and high pressure condition during winter. The soil here, it is called podzol soil. It is the acidic soil. What is the flora found here? Mainly the type of forest found is boreal forest. They are characterized by tall trees, needle-like leaves to prevent heat loss and water loss. And the area, since mostly covered by ice, has a very less biodiversity. But still, few of the trees found are pine, spruce, fire, small shrubs, berries and softwood. What are the faunas found? Wolves, they are the top carnivore. Then caribou. Let us see the pictures of this. Caribou, red fox, brown bears. Let us see. One is the Siberian tiger. We find Siberian tiger. Then caribou, this is the reindeer. Then red fox, brown bear. Then moose and Siberian tiger. Clear? And trees like pine, they have a needle-like leaves and spruce. Clear? Next up we have grassland. So grassland, as we know, is divided into two types. One is temperate grassland and tropical grassland. Tropical grassland is the one which is found between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. And temperate is the one which is found beyond Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn towards the polar region. So what is the type of climate in tropical grassland? It is a Sudan type of climate. They have taller grass and hot zone. And temperate grassland, steeper climate, higher precipitation, lower temperature, in the summer there is rainfall, and winter also there is a high range of rainfall. And the range of temperature, that is the difference between summer and winter, is usually very high than tropical grassland. Moreover, in the temperate grassland there is a very fertile soil is found. There is the prairie soil. And mainly US, Canada, this temperate grassland is used for agriculture, mainly wheat. So So what are the fauna found here? Mainly bisons, elk deer, coyote, prairie dog, wolves. In Central Asian steppes, we find wild horses and saiga antelope, and birds like falcon and hawks. What is the flora found here? It is mostly wildflowers, since not much trees are present, and most part, as I have said, is converted to agricultural land, mainly because of wheat cultivation. So let us see what are the animals found with pictures. One is the bison. This is the bison. Then elk deer. Then coyote. Then prairie dog. It is a type of squirrel. Then wild horses. Falcon, type of bird, and saiga antelope. Clear? Next, let us see tropical grassland. So the temperature is hotter than temperate grassland. They have definite dry season for 3 to 4 months, and overall rainfall is lesser than temperate grassland. And they have dry and less fertile soil. What are the regions of tropical grassland? It is savanna of Africa, llanos of South America, tempos and Gran Chaco. Clear? What are the flora found here? They are mainly tall and yellow grass and scattered drought resistant trees, because fire is being a common phenomenon in this grassland. What trees found? Acacia, palm trees and baobab trees. Let's see, this is acacia, then baobab tree, and this is the palm tree. And what are the fauna found here? What is the fauna found here? Wilder beast, zebra, gazelle, giraffe, and top carnivores like lion and cheetah, and scavenger like hyena. Also we find crocodile, snake, elephants, and birds like ostrich, emu, kangaroo. Kangaroo is found only in Australia. This is wilder beast, this is gazelle, this is hyenas. Clear? Next up we have rainforest biome. Mainly in also rainforest, also we see two type of rainforest. One is the temperate and tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest is the one which is present in the tropical areas, in the tropics, between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. And beyond Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, if we see some kind of rainforest, it is a temperate rainforest. So let us start one by one. First is the temperate rainforest. Temperate rainforest have dense and lush rainfall within the temperate regions. Vegetation is thick, tall and dense. However, the density is not as much as equatorial rainforest. Here tallest growing tree is a giant sequoia. We will see the figure. There they are having high temperature, high precipitation, high humidity throughout the year, and the soil found is laterite soil. Clear? Then tropical rainforest. They are mainly evergreen, having a high biodiversity, dense and luxuriant growth with multi-layer growth. They are having 4-layer growth. 4-layer growth plants are found here. This is why multi-layer growth, and good number of climbers and epiphytes. And sunlight, because of the density, sunlight reaches the lower region very less. So they are also the oldest living ecosystem on earth, and 50% of the biodiversity is present there and 6% of the area. What is the flora found here? Mainly hardwood like rubber and mahogany, faunas like carnivorous plant like pitcher plant, then snake, anaconda found in Amazon, piranha fish, then apes like Kenegua apes palme, gorillas mainly found in Congo, then chimpanzee, Africa, orangutan, Borneo and Sumatra, gibbon, Southeast Asian hollow gibbon, it is found in India, then bonobo, it is found in Africa, then one big cat, jaguar, it is found in South America, pygmy gliders, Papua New Guinea, flying lizard, Western Ghats, flying fox, green mamba, it is a type of snake, and birds of paradise, colorful bird, it found in Papua New Guinea. Let us see the figures one by one. So this is the pitcher plant, they feed on insects. Then this is the piranha fish, gorilla, chimpanzee, orangutan, gibbon, bonobo. They are all ape species. Then we find one of the cat, that is the big cat, it is jaguar. Then these are the sugar gliders. This is flying lizards. This is flying fox. This is mamba, green mamba, and this is bird of paradise, colorful bird found in rainforest. Lastly, we have the desert biome. So what is the, let us see the details about desert biome. Temperature, high temperature during the day, low temperature during night. That is, they are having high diurnal range of temperature. What are soils found? Arid soils and red desert soil. Flora, what is the flora found? Mainly desert grass. It is for the fixation of sand dunes and xerophytes are present. Fauna, the most famous is the camel. Then kangaroo rat, rattlesnake, sand boa and flamingo. Right, let us see the figures. So we find two types of camels. One is the Kharai camel, which is found in hot desert. Kharai camel. They feed on mangroves. One is the Bactrian camel. Then next is the rattlesnake, sand boa and flamingo. Clear? So this is all about the biomes and terrestrial ecosystem. So next let us see coral reef. One of the type of aquatic ecosystem is the coral reef. So what are coral reef? Coral reef are submarine landforms formed due to accumulation and compaction of lime secreting organisms called coral polyps. So coral ki hoy submarine, they are one kind of landforms formed due to accumulation and compaction of lime secreting organisms like called coral polyps. So what is the characteristics? As we know, corals and zooxanthellae, they live in symbiotic relationship. So what is the relation? The coral provides the algae with a protected environment and compounds they need for photosynthesis. In return, the algae produce oxygen and help the coral to remove waste. So this is the relationship between the two. So next let us see what is the condition for their growth. This is the corals and algae is the zooxanthellae. Clear? And zooxanthellae is responsible mainly for the color of the corals. What is the condition for the growth? One is the sea surface temperature. They must have a sea surface temperature of 20 to 29 degrees Celsius. That is why they are found mainly in tropical oceans and not in temperate oceans. Clear? And if the temperature goes to 35 or 40 degrees Celsius, then also it is harmful for the coral growth. Then shallow water. Coral require fairly good amount of sunlight to survive. Ideal depth of coral growth are 45 to 55 meters below the sea level, where there is abundant sunlight is available. Not found in upwelling zones. What are the upwelling zones? Where the cold and warm ocean current meets and leads to upwelling of the cold current from below. They are not found in upwelling zones. Then mouth of the rivers and freshwater. This is because they require a very stable water. Then ocean salinity must be between 33 to 38 ppm. Constant supply of nutrients. Thus they need a flowing water. Then there should be little or no pollution. Corals are highly fragile and are vulnerable to climate change and pollution. And even a minute increase in marine pollution can be catastrophic. Clear? Let us see type of coral reefs. One is the fringing reef, barrier reef and atolls. So let us see them by a picture. So this is a volcano or a volcanic mountain. Near the volcanic mountain, this line, this is the fringing reef. They are closely attached to the landform. There is a fringing reef. Then if the other part gets subsided, if there is a gap between this mountain and the landform, mountain and the corals, then this is the barrier reef. And if this mountain gets subsided, and only this reef remain, this is an atoll. So let us see the difference. Developed along these fringing reefs, developed along the continent margins or along the islands. Example, Caribbean Sea, Red Sea. In India, it is found mainly in Gulf of Mannar and Park Bay. Next is the barrier reef. It is the largest coral reef of the coastal platforms but parallel to them. Example, Great Barrier Reef in Australia. And India, west coast of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Atoll. Ring of narrow growing corals or horseshoe shape. Example, Funfuti Atoll of Ellis Island, Raja Ampat Island, etc. And in India, it is the Lakshadweep Islands. Clear? Then significance of coral reef. What are the significance? One is the coastal protection, source of food, medicinal properties like treatment of cancer, arthritis, Alzheimer, etc. And lastly, the tourism. Okay. Next, what are the threats to coral reefs? First is the global warming. Global warming leads to coral bleaching. So what is coral bleaching? We will study next. This is oceans are getting warmer, and as we know, corals need a specific kind of temperature. So coral cannot survive, their symbiotic relationship get lost and they die. Then climate change leading to sea level rise, ocean acidification, intensification of tropical storms, all this harming the stability of corals and formation of corals. Then marine pollution, deep sea mining, ozone depletion, etc. Clear? Next we see what are the schemes related to coral reef. One is the Coastal Regulation Zone of India, notified under Environmental Protection Act 1986. It provides protection to all coral reefs under Coastal Regulation Zone 1 category of law. Then Coral Reef Triangle. Coral Reef Triangle is a marine area located on the Western Pacific Ocean. It includes Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste and Solomon Islands, created by Worldwide Fund for Nature. Then Global Coral Reef Monitoring Network. Global Coral Reef Monitoring Network is an operational network of the International Coral Reef Initiative ICRI, aiming to provide the best available scientific information on the status, trends of coral ecosystem for the conservation and management. Clear? Then few of the important terms that has appeared in other exams related to coral reef. One is the microbeads. What are microbeads? Microbeads are manufactured solid particles of less than 1 millimeter in their largest dimension. They are the causes of water pollution affecting marine and aquatic animals. Clear? Then yellow band disease. It is a bacterial infection that spread over coral, causing the discolored bands of pale yellow or white lesions along the surface of an infected coral colony. Then biorock technology. Biorock technology is employed for the conversion of coral reefs, conservation of coral reefs by creating underwater structure resembling rocks. So remember these three terms. Next we will see wetlands and mangroves. Clear? So what are wetlands? So wetlands as defined under Wetland Conservation and Management Rule 2017. Wetlands means an area of marsh, fen, peatland or water, whether natural or artificial, mean artificial or natural or it can be permanent or temporary, with water that is static or flowing, fresh, brackish or salt, including areas of marine water, the depth of which at low tide does not exceed 6 meters. So remember, depth should not exceed 6 meters. But it does not include, this is very much important, does not include river channels, paddy fields, human-made water bodies, tanks, specifically constructed for drinking water purposes, and structures constructed for aquaculture, salt production, recreation and irrigation purposes. So at times question I hope which of the following does not get classified under wetlands. So these are the things. This is according to Wetland Conservation Management Rule 2017. In general যদি আমি চাওঁ, in simple terms, what are wetlands? আমি পঢ়িছিলোঁ ইকোটোন. So wetlands are transitional zones between terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem, include areas of marine water of which low tide does not exceed 6 meters. Clear? So wetland কাৰণে which convention we have? We have the most important convention is the Ramsar Convention. We have the Ramsar Convention. Clear? So what are the measurements for the protection of wetland? One is the Ramsar Convention. Here the philosophy of wise use of wetlands. The central government need to specify few of the wetlands to the Ramsar Secretariat for declaration under Ramsar Convention. Clear? Then we have a related concept is the Montreux record. The wetlands which are under constant degradation falls under the Montreux record. Clear? Then what are the national measures? we have the Wetland Conservation and Management Rule 2017. This shall apply to wetlands of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. Two bodies will be formed, State Wetland Authority and Central Wetland Authority. What does this say? The rules forbid activities like encroachment of any kind, establishment and growth of industries, waste disposal, etc. Next is the Amrit Thoroughfare Scheme. Aims to enhance wetland utilization over 3 years. Coastal protection, governed by Coastal Regulation Zone. Integration with Namami Gange. Announced on World Wetland Day 2021 to integrate wetland conservation with Namami Gange program. Clear? These are the national measures for conservation of wetlands. And মই লগতে আপোনালোকক এটা PDF এখন দিম, the wetlands of India. You kindly remember the wetlands and their cities and their states. Clear? And mangroves. What are mangroves? Mangroves are similar ecotones, characteristic littoral forest ecosystem, mostly evergreen forest that grow in sheltered low-lying coast, estuaries, mudflats, tidal creeks, etc. They are highly productive ecosystem occurring worldwide only in tropics and subtropics, mainly between 25° north and 25° south. So what are the characteristics of mangroves? Their leaves are thick and contain salt-secreting glands. Secondly, they contain a complex salt filtration system such that salt does not enter in their body, and complex root system to cope with saltwater immersion and wave action, confined to only tropical and subtropical coastal waters, and they exhibit viviparity mode of reproduction. It is, seeds germinate in the tree itself before falling in the ground. This is an adaptive mechanism to overcome the problem of germination in saline waters. Clear? What is the mangrove distribution? Mangroves is found along the coast, mainly Sundarban, Pitakarnika, Mahanadi, Devi Mount, Godavari, Krishna, Pichavaram, Mudpet. So see this figure. According to Indian State of Forest Report in 2021, India has nearly 3.3% of world mangrove vegetation, and mangrove cover is highest in West Bengal, Gujarat, then Andaman and Nicobar Island. Mangrove cover in the country is 4975 square kilometer, which is 0.15% of the country's total geographical area. Clear? Next, what are the threats to mangroves? Natural threats like cyclone, typhoons and strong wave action. Trampling and overgrazing by wildlife and livestock to ensure close to mangrove regions. Damage by aquatic animals like crabs, oyster, pest to a young seedling of mangroves. Anthropological threats like agriculture, coastal development, shrimp farming and charcoal and lumber industries. Clear? Next, what are steps taken for the conservation of mangroves? What is the similar coastal regulation zones? Rules are there for protection of mangroves. Then SMART, spatial monitoring and reporting tool. Monitoring in the Sundarban, mainly in the Sundarban areas. Gujarat, they use direct seed sowing raised by bed plantation, fishbone channel plantation and restore degraded mangroves. Andhra Pradesh has established Eco Development Committee and Fund Samrakshan Committee. Then mangroves for future initiatives to promote investment in coastal ecosystem. Then sustainable aquaculture in mangrove ecosystem, SAIME initiative. It is a pilot project in West Bengal. Then mangrove initiative for shoreline habitat and tangible incomes, MISHTI, launched on World Environment Day. Its aim is restoration of mangrove forest. Then Mangrove Alliance for Climate, launched during COP27. So this is all about coral reef, wetland mangrove and biomes. Thank you.